No hat. Hat. No head. Head. Guys, so I heard there's this really cool thing that's happened in Cape Town. It's basically a coffee shop. Everybody that serves you is somebody who's been in prison. So I jumped in my car and I went to go look for it. Apparently it's in Mowbray. I heard that there's a coffee shop somewhere around here and you'll be served by ex-prisoners.
Jeez, I've never heard of that.
Is it? Hey, can you help me? You're not sure, eh?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Like nobody here knows about it. What do you think of that? Like, would you think that if you go in there, you're going to get murdered?
Well, they did their time, so I don't have a problem.
Yeah, I don't think I'll get murdered.
And I found it. It is literally right here. Check it out. There it is. How's it do? Okay, here we go, folks. Here we are. Here we are. So here is the man of the moment. So bro, what's your name, dude?
Oh, my name is Fyvie.
Fyvie.
Born is Fyvie, but my name got changed to be Simpacino.
Simpacino?
Simpacino, yes.
Simpacino, as in... So I got in there and started chatting to Fyvie, but then there was a whole bunch of customers, and so they had to keep serving everybody their coffees. And I just sat there in the corner of this shop and watched like everybody pass through, like loads of customers coming in and coming out, and I waited until they closed up so I could ask him and his friends some questions. And it was just cool, it was just amazing, like sitting there. I mean, half of the guys who were coming into the shop had no clue of the background and the history of the baristas making them coffee. I don't know, it's amazing being in a space like that. If you actually just stop and think about it, like there's like cars and taxis driving past and people all doing their thing. And here you've got these ex-offenders who essentially have been given a second chance. And finally, Siseko sat down in front of me. He had this cool like wide-brimmed hat on and this like amazing big smile. And it turns out that Siseko spent 8 years in prison. And Simpiwe had spent 9 years in prison. Did you guys do the thing together, you and Simpiwe?
No, we met in prison. Prison is horrible. But I've been blessed enough to meet the right people in prison. So you get to realize that time is running out. You get arrested while young, but then you're growing in prison, and then your way of thinking changes in prison, and you get to see a life in another perspective.
Many people, they've got so wrong perspective about prison, but prison, it's either it builds you or it breaks you.
It makes you realize that life is precious. You're practically locked up with guys you don't even know. Full capacity would be 27 guys.
Say again?
27 guys in one cell.
So you shared a room with 27 guys?
Yeah, for about 8 years.
So I was curious like the whole way through to know what made these two guys different and everybody who works here different. I mean, the stats in South Africa for like crime is very shocking. Almost equally as shocking is what they call the recidivism rate, which is the reoffense rate. And they say that within like 5 years, at least 50% of people will reoffend and go back to prison. 1 in 2 will literally end up back in jail. So what makes these guys different?
I saw the brotherhood amongst those who call themselves Christians within prison. I saw the brotherhood, how they communicated with each other, how they were respected, and how they just showed love and passion for everyone, and regardless who we are. So that, I would say, that attracted me pretty much to changing my life. How can people have that unity of brotherhood? How can they care for each other so much? And then I got to realize that these guys, they have Christ in their lives. So I wanted that. I accepted the Lord as my Lord and Savior, and then, yeah, it all changed for me.
What changed from there, bro?
My purpose, my vision, my thought patterns. Yeah, I mean, getting an insight of how God views you, because God holds His children in high regard. He holds any man in high regard. Because then if only you give yourself to Him, then you'll see how your life changes.
And so maybe watching this, you don't believe in God, and that's okay. I mean, nobody can force you to believe in God. However, These guys, they went to prison and they had 8 years to essentially face themselves and to really take a deep, hard look at who they are. And for them, they realized that they had a guilt that had to be paid. They did their time, and in that process, they met God. You don't necessarily need to go to prison to meet God, but like most human beings, we're actually all in chains, even if we're not behind physical bars. Like I know I was, and I was in these chains of my own sin and my own freaking stuff-ups and my own fears and everything that's bundled up, and it's just horrible, and it's not who I'm meant to be. Okay, there we go. That'll work for a little bit. And Jesus comes along and he's like, okay, cool, dude, I see that you've like gotten yourself into prison spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. And he's like, I got the key. Thanks, bro. No, I'm gonna take a jab with my hand. I'm gonna fill myself while I drink your coffee, dude. So if you are in Cape Town and you can go check out the Mess Cafe, let's focus on my face, there we go.
Not bad.
Then do it. On Main Road, Mowbray. Not half bad, folks. Go and get yourself a cup of coffee and just sit there. Just talk to the people, just talk to the guys behind the counter. You just start to think about like what's important in life, and
They gave me a hat.
at the end of the day you realize that no matter who you are or what you've done, second chances are possible.